Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Charlie, I'm a designer, and today I want to talk about something that myself and many other designers fear a lot, and that is creative block. Okay. Creative block is more than simply just not having an idea for something or, trying ideas and it not working out quite right. For me, it's much deeper than that, and it's this fear that I'm not any good at my job and I'm not any good at what I do. Because as designers, we are paid to be creative. We're creative problem solvers. And so when that creativity isn't coming and you're not being able to find that right solution to a problem, it's scary because you feel like you can't do your job. And it's frustrating because there's not one clear way to get through it either. With a lot of people who have non-creative jobs, they can solve problems with their work simply by working harder, working longer hours, and that will, they'll put in the time and the effort and it'll get done. But that is not often an approach that works when getting over creative block. In fact, sometimes it can even make it worse if you just try and keep pushing it when it's just not working. So when you have creative block as a designer, it's scary because you don't know when you're going to get through it. And you don't know what method of trying to find some inspiration and break through that wall is going to work this time, because just because it worked last time doesn't mean it will work this one. And so there's a lot of uncertainty that comes about when creative block strikes. I decided to make this video because I just recently got over a creative block that I was having with a project. It was one that I think I had the block for like a month. That's how bad it was, and it was so hard to get through it. I was working on like a brand for a new project that we have coming up at ConvertKit, and already I don't think I'm that great at brand design, so that didn't help with my confidence from the start. But yeah, I was trying things and none of the ideas were really sticking, and none of the ideas were like, yes, that's the one we should go with. I felt like I just had no idea what to do to make it work. And I really did feel like I was failing. I'm going to be honest there. When you have creative block as a designer, it can feel like you're a failure because, like I said before, being creative is what you're paid to do. The reason this particular creative block that I had was a scary one for me is because none of my usual tricks for getting inspired were working. Normally I can get really inspired by music, get really inspired by looking at other people's work, sometimes taking a step back from it and then coming back a week, a day later, whatever the time frame allows, helps with getting over creative block, but it wasn't working for this one. I had stopped work on it for like 3 weeks, I think, and still no ideas were coming. What helped me in the end though was putting constraints on my work, and this is definitely something that I will make sure I do going forward before creative block strikes so that I can hopefully not get into the situation again. Because it was a brand design and because it's an internal project, that means there's not a client with a strict brief. We have to be the one to create the brief. And I think the brief that we put together was a bit too loose. There were some key words of like what I had to feel like, and obviously I knew all about exactly what the project goals were and what we were trying to get across. But when it came to the visuals, it was totally free reign, and that's actually now my worst nightmare as a designer, having absolutely no direction whatsoever. And I think that's what was getting to me, was not having a clear place to start and a clear way to gauge whether the solution I was designing was the right one for the problem. So what I did was I made up my own constraints. I decided that I wanted this particular brand to be a dark mode project. Normally I design things that are quite light and I go for a white background as a default, and I thought, why not challenge myself to design something that has a dark background as a default? And it works for the project as well because it's a video project and videos work really well on a dark background. It's more of like a cinema mode, I guess. And of course it did fit with the themes of the project and the look we were going for with the brand as well. But yeah, making that decision that whatever I designed, it was going to fit within this dark mode style, that helped me get over my creative block. And I felt like almost instantly, once I made that decision, I came up with 3 fairly solid concepts of directions we could go in, and now we've selected one and we're moving forward, and I'm past the block now, which I'm so happy about because now I can go back to feeling like I am actually okay at my job. I really just wanted to make this video to tell you that if you're a designer or a creative and you're experiencing creative block, you're not alone, and it doesn't mean that you're bad at your job. I know that it feels that way, but once you come out the other side, you'll be able to diagnose what was missing and why you're in that situation. Like for me, I know now it was because my brief was too wide open, and so I'm going to make sure I focus on that going forward. It is a pretty scary thing to go through though, so if you're there, if that's you at the moment, then I hope that this video gave you some comfort, I guess, maybe some ideas for how to get through it. And if you want to share your experience with creative block down below in the comments, that'd be great. It can be like a little support system. Make sure you hit subscribe if you're new to my channel, because I make new design videos every single Saturday, and they're not all filmed in this beautiful Williamsburg apartment that I'm in right now, but still. Hit subscribe if you'd like to see more. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.